Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert's Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. WWE Top 20 wrestlers currently today. Went through the roster, created who I think is the best 20 wrestlers in WWE right now. Let's get started on this list. Number 20, I have Roman Reigns. I don't think Roman Reigns is that great, but there's a bunch of garbage below that, and he's the best of the garbage, so he's number 20. We'll just move right up this list and just skip over. Number 19, I have John Cena. I know, I've said multiple times, Cena goes like this, because he's got 3 moves and 0 talent. Never been big on John Cena. John Cena has put on some phenomenal matches in WWE. If he's wrestling somebody that is really, really good, he can work up to the way they are. He can't carry a match though. And I say that just to say this. A guy named Dave Peltzer created a 5-star rating system for wrestling matches. In the history of wrestling, since he created this in the 80s, there's been 73 5-star matches. There's been 5 WWE 5-star matches. WrestleMania 10 ladder match, Shawn Michaels versus Razor Ramon. SummerSlam 94 in a cage match, Bret Hart versus Owen Hart. WrestleMania 13 a submission match, Bret Hart versus Steve Austin. In Your House, Bad Blood 97, Hell in a Cell, Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker. What do those 4 matches have in common? 2 matches are Shawn Michaels and 2 matches are Bret Hart. The 5th WWE 5-star match came in 2011, Money in the Bank in Chicago, CM Punk versus John Cena. John Cena, I put him on this list because when he's wrestling the CM Punks of the world, or even a Jericho or Cesaro, somebody that has talent, somebody that can carry the match, he can work up to them. When Cena's the best one in the match, he works down to his opponent. He can't just carry it. He has to work either a level to whatever his opponent is. So if his opponent is here, that's where he's at. But if his opponent's here, that's where he's at. Number 18 on the list, Tyson Kidd. Very good worker. Never done anything with him in WWE. Number 17 on the list, we have former world champion, Wade Barrett. Bad news Barrett. He's hurt right now. Hopefully he'll come back. Overall, in the ring, he's not a bad wrestler. Number 16 on the list, I have Curtis Axel. 3rd generation superstar, just needs the opportunity to get pushed. Put him with a Randy Orton in a faction, or put him with somebody besides Ryback who has talent. Well, you can develop that talent with that talent show. Number 15, I have former world champion and Money in the Bank winner and Royal Rumble winner, Alberto Del Rio. Number 14, I have Jack Swagger. We the people! When Jack Swagger first came in, he came in as the All-American American. He had the ankle lock. He was supposed to be the next Kurt Angle. That is fizzled out horribly for him. He's not a bad wrestler, don't get me wrong, but when he first came in, he was trying to be the next Kurt Angle, and he ain't nowhere close to the next Kurt Angle. You know, in wrestling, all total wrestling, Kurt Angle's going to be in the top 4, top 5. You know, you look at Swagger 14, so he's got a ways to go, but he's not horrible. Number 13, Kofi Kingston. What's not to love about Kofi Kingston? He'll do anything in a ladder match and a battle royal that you can do. He's done things that no one's ever dreamed of. I mean, the last battle royal for the IC title, he was on the back of Biggie Langston. He's done somersaults. He's jumped from the announce table to the ring. He has fallen on the steps and both feet were still on the steps. He has done the skin the cat move. He has done handstand. I mean, everything you could think of in these ladder matches and battle royals to really what? Nothing. He didn't even get IC US title matches now. Number 12 on the list, currently known as Stardust, formerly known as Cody Rhodes. Very talented young man. Just they've never done much with him. He has the talent to succeed. They just don't ever put him in a position to succeed because there's always people that would be like more than him. Number 11, Dolph Ziggler, Mr. Perfection. More than once, they've started to push him, and they got into a run with him, and then they just blow it up. You stick with it, WWE. Let him. He's good. He can talk on the mic, pretty decent. He's really good in the ring. Give him a better finisher than the zigzag. Let him do the super kick, and just build him up that way. All right, top 10. Kristen, this one's out there for you. Sheamus is number 10 on my list. The big old jar of mayonnaise. When he first came in and won that first world title versus John Cena in that tables match, I was really like, what the hell is this? What the hell is this? But no, he's really impressed me over the years. I'm starting to like him a little bit. He won the Royal Rumble. That was in St. Louis, 25th anniversary. We went to. So he's not horrible in the ring. I wouldn't mind seeing him in a world title hunt, not just holding the Intercontinental title. But U.S. title, excuse me. Number 9 on the list is Bray Wyatt, Wyatt family. Obviously, wasn't a big fan when he first came in, but now I'm all over what the Wyatt family's doing, just the storytelling, the things that he can do in the ring, the promos and stuff. Number 8 on the list, to me this is a very sad storyline they're doing. Very, very talented wrestler. First time I ever seen him was Raw 1000. I was just impressed from minute one about this guy, Damien Sandow. Just his ability to talk on the mic and his ability in the ring, but yet we make him come out dressed as Vince McMahon. We make him come out dressed as LeBron James. We make him come out dressed as whoever in whatever city they're in. Damien Sandow has as much talent as, as Cena. He's more talented than Cena, obviously. He's more talented than Swagger and then, Roman Reigns and Ziggler and all these guys who are given titles, who are given a chance to develop. Would you ever ask a CM Punk to dress up and come out and talk? No, you wouldn't. Would you ask a John Cena to do that, or Randy Orton? No, you wouldn't. A Jericho, a Christian? No, you wouldn't. Why are you having Damien Sandow do this? Number 7 on the list, Dean Ambrose. I've seen some of what he's done when he was on the independent circuit, and I've seen what he's done since he's been WWE. Big fan. I'm enjoying what they're doing with it. Enjoying seeing that independent wrestler develop into a WWE superstar. Number 6 on the list. Can't have a list like this without the king of the RKO, Randy Orton. Very talented wrestler, world champion multiple times. He's done everything in the business. Currently should be a world champion. Number 5. Captain Charisma, Christian. As talented as his brother Edge. K-Fab brother. Should be world champion. He's had two world champion runs in WWE. When he was in TNA, he was basically Christian in TNA was the same character as Edge was at the same time in WWE. They both were world champions at the time. They both were running the companies. Why not let this guy do something? Except talk on the fucking pre-show and be an analyst during the pay-per-view. It's just bullshit with Christian right now. But very talented guy. Number 4 on the list, Y2J, Chris Jericho. Come on. Can you all not see this? I remember when he was a Cruiserweight champion in WCW. I remember when he first came into WWF. I remember when he became the first ever undisputed champion. The only man to beat Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock in the same night. The only reason he's on number 4 on my list because he's been gone. If he'd been there for the last year, he'd probably be number 1 or 2. Alright, now we get to the top 3. These top 3 all have one thing in common. They have roots in Ring of Honor. They have roots on the independent circuit. WWE has finally done something right. They look at the independent circuit and they go get those guys. They started with CM Punk. They started with Evan Bourne. And they just kept going and going. They know where there's a rooted talent that they can just go get. Number 3 on the list, Cesaro. Very, very talented wrestler. Needs to have a title around his waist, and not a world title. Can be heel, can be face. No matter what character he's playing, heel or face, people get behind him. People are going to cheer him. Very rarely am I ever going to boo a guy like Cesaro because he's that talented. Number 2 on the list. This is very, very difficult for me. This guy is a former Ring of Honor World Champion. Yes. This guy is a former WrestleMania main event winner. Yes. This guy is a former Money in the Bank winner. Yes. The one and only Daniel Bryan. It was hard putting him number 2, as good as he is. But I think the guy that I put number 1 is equal, if not a little bit better. Current Money in the Bank holder Seth Rollins is number 1 on my list. WWE Superstars. I do want to throw an honorary mention out there to CM Punk. I know CM Punk is done with wrestling. He said in multiple interviews he will not be back. Phillip Brooks is a very, very talented wrestler, CM Punk. He's gold wherever he goes. As a fan, do I want him back? Hell yeah, in a heartbeat. Can he come back like an Undertaker and do specialty matches every once in a while? Come back and wrestle at WrestleMania, maybe wrestle Stone Cold Steve Austin. Come back here and wrestle somebody, somebody like that level, or Bret Hart, maybe not Bret Hart, but, somebody, an older guy, Shawn, somebody like that, just, kind of a cornerstone specialty match. Hell yeah, I love seeing a heartbeat. Will CM Punk ever be back in WWE full time? Probably not. We've seen the last 434-day title run for anybody besides the CM Punk. One thing that a lot of these top 20 my roster here have in common, none of them really made it much in the last 2 years. I mentioned 2 years because it's kind of when Brock Lesnar came back 2 years ago. Backlash, April of 2012 Backlash. The only people to have in 2 years, so it's 24 months, so it's actually been 27 months, to have multiple main events since then. Randy Orton has main evented 12 times. John Cena has main evented 13 times. The next on this list is Daniel Bryan. So what that tells me is there's so much raw talent on this WWE roster they're not using. Pay attention to these 20 guys. A lot of these guys are the future of wrestling. In 5 years and 10 years, when you turn into WWE to WrestleMania 40, what's your main event going to look like? It's going to be one of these guys, or it's going to be somebody younger? Maybe that guy hasn't even been to WWE yet. WWE is, a lot of their talent comes from other organizations, and they bring them into their developmental center and build them NXT and bring them to the main roster. And a year from now, 2 years from now, this top 20 is going to change. Because they just brought in a guy named Kenta. They got a guy named Kevin, formerly known as Kevin Steen, they just recently signed. There's a guy named Sami Callihan, formerly known as El Generico. If those guys were on the main roster right now, you know they'd be on this list. But I'm going to say, one thing to add to this list, everybody needs to believe me when I say this is the top 20. There's nobody that's got more talent than this top 20. So, thanks for watching, and look for some other topic videos coming up. And then coming up soon, about 3 weeks probably, a preview of the train wreck that'll be SummerSlam 2014. Thanks for watching.